Hello and welcome to this new section on identifying solutions for your personality development. So, the purpose of this section is to help you learn how to identify what solutions would really make sense for you. And we will talk about in this lecture how can you identify those solutions that make sense to you. So, having looked at this process where we have chosen one improvement area to develop and understood what's going on in our lives, how to identify what solutions make sense for us to reach our career goal, right? So, what do you think? Any thoughts? So, again, we go back to the stage two of the Egan's model, in which what we do is we look at the possibilities. What are the various possibilities in future that can help us reach our goal, and then we develop a change agenda and we commit ourselves to the change agenda, and that's the three steps. Let's take a look at each of these steps in a lot more detail. So how to explore the possibilities? Any thoughts? Okay. So again, it is answering more questions. It basically this step would help you determine what you need and want instead of what you have. So it goes futuristic in that sense. Also develop a range of possibilities for a better future by developing your personality. And the kind of questions that you ask that you see here is what do you really want? What are the some possibilities for better future? So you are exploring what can happen. How can the future be better? What would your life look like if it looked better? So imagination. What would this problem situation look like if managed well? So it's all about brainstorming using these questions. What would this opportunity look like if developed? So if you have an opportunity coming up that you have committed to yourself in the last section, how would that look like if developed fully? What would exist that did not exist at the moment? And that's a very interesting question. So it's require you to think very carefully and imaginatively. What outcomes would take care of your most pressing problems? And what would your life look like from a year from now? So this is how you develop the future possibilities. Then you craft a viable change agenda. If this is gives you what are the possibilities that you want to adapt to, then you look at what should be your change agenda. How do you do that? Again, this change agenda would help you choose among those various possibilities and turn them into viable goals. So see the words here very clearly. It's about those possibilities which are still alternatives, and here you would select a viable goal. It helps you set goals and craft a viable change agenda from among the possibilities. And how do you do that? You ask again some questions like what are the two, three problems or unused opportunities that you could start working on? So remember, still two, three problems, right? Not one single. If you accomplish these goals, will it make a difference, right? What are these goals? Are these goals in tune with your values? It's important because if the goals are not in tune with your value, you would commit as we go forward. Can you make them into smart goal statements? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Are the goals specific enough to drive your behavior? And what would be a realistic time frame for each of these goals? So here you are converting those possibilities into realistic goals, two, three. Now, the last step in this stage of what solutions make sense for you to would be to develop commitment for the entire goal setting process, from the possibilities to selecting that goal. And how do you do that? Now, in this step, what you do is you develop commitment to the entire goal setting process and identify the kind of incentives that will help you pursue your chosen goals. So you look at the benefits that will come to you as a result of pursuing these chosen goals. And how do you do that? Again, by asking questions to yourself. Why should you pursue these goals? Right? Is this where you want to invest your limited resources of time, money, and energy? What incentives would you have to pursue these goals that you would have set? What difficulties would you experience in committing yourself to these goals? How would you overcome these difficulties? What are the other agendas are competing for your time and attention? Important. What do you have to say to stay committed? What do you have to do to stay committed? So in this we are gaining our own commitment to this chosen agenda, the change agenda that we have picked up from the very many future possibilities. So having looked at how do we find the solutions that make sense for us, what do we do next? In the next we will look at some examples of our people and how did we do that. The two examples that we've been running through in this course, we will look at how did we develop those solutions for those peoples as we did work for them. So thank you so much for watching this lecture on identifying solutions. I hope you're continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy. And I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. And if you have any questions, do feel free to message me and I'll be happy to answer your questions for you.